I spy with my little eyes a Netflix movie titled 21 Bridges. Here's a quick rundown of the plot. The movie is basically a manhunt in Manhattan where our main character, played by Chadwick Boseman, is trying to capture two criminal suspects. In order to prevent the suspects from escaping Manhattan, he ordered to close all the bridges of the island. What island? Manhattan. As a New York channel, the most interesting part of this movie is the title, 21 Bridges, which makes one pose the question to the universe, does Manhattan really have 21 bridges? Welcome to Urban Caffeine. If you like New Yorking, hit that like button. Something worth noting in this movie are the small little Easter eggs that New Yorkers can appreciate, like the Enthora Cup in an early scene. If you didn't know, the Enthora Cup has a huge subcultural following in New York City. This cup is loved so much that it was revived after being discontinued for almost a decade. And the New York Times listed it as one of the 50 iconic objects of New York City. If you don't end up watching this movie, at least watch it around the 26-minute mark where the police officers interact with the FBI agents on deciding on how to catch the criminals. The script was kind of overdoing it with all the New York references, which makes it even more comical. For example, J.K. Simon's character discredits the mayor by pointing out that the mayor eats pizza with a fork, and Chadwick Boseman's character points out the differences between nearby areas, how Brooklyn is all pop-ups and strollers, and how Long Island is all dentists and accountants. But let's not stray from the important question at hand. Does Manhattan really have 21 bridges? To answer this question, it's important to note that the island of Manhattan is not the same as the borough of Manhattan. You may already know New York City has 5 boroughs, and the Manhattan borough consists of Manhattan Island, Roosevelt Island, Randalls Island, and other smaller islands. Manhattan as an island is bounded by the Hudson River, Spite and Duyvil Creek, the Harlem River, East River, and the New York Bay. So when Chadwick Boseman's character told everyone to close the island, I assume he meant Manhattan Island and not Manhattan the borough. So, does Manhattan really have 21 bridges? According to the movie, it does, but it really depends. If you're talking about just the island of Manhattan connecting to the surrounding land, then the answer is no, there are only 20 bridges. But if you're talking about the borough of Manhattan connecting to the outer boroughs, then there could be either 21 bridges or 22 bridges depending on how technical you want to get. Let's clarify. Starting with the 4 well-known bridges to the south, we have the iconic, heavy-looking Brooklyn Bridge, which deserves its own video, so subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss future videos. Engineers drool over this bridge because during its time, the construction was so amazing, they called it the 8th wonder of the world. Then there's the lighter silhouettes of the Manhattan Bridge and the Williamsburg Bridge. And the 4th well-known bridge is the Queensboro Bridge, or also known as the Ed Koch Bridge. This bridge connects directly to Queens and does not have access to Roosevelt Island. Then when you go north, you have the George Washington Bridge that connects Manhattan to New Jersey, the Spite and Duyvil Bridge, which is a swing bridge. Swing bridges are pretty cool. As the name suggests, they swing sideways to let boats and other water vessels go through. Not too far from it is the Hudson Bridge. And we have 11 more bridges, mostly connecting Manhattan to the Bronx. A good amount of these are swing bridges like the Spite and Duyvil Bridge. Some are meant mainly for trains, other for vehicles, and one is purely a footbridge, which is the High Bridge. The High Bridge used to be part of the aqueduct that brought water to New York City from upstate New York. Today, it's been converted to a bridge for pedestrians and bikers. And now we get to where things get fuzzy. Bridge number 19 is the Triborough Bridge, also known as the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, which is actually a bridge complex made up of 3 bridges. Together, they connect Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx, thus the name Triborough. I debated with myself and the other Thea if we could count this as 1 bridge or 3 bridges. Ultimately, we went with 1 bridge. If we are talking about Manhattan the island, then bridge number 20 would be the Ward's Island Bridge, which connects Manhattan Island to Randalls Island. The full name of Randalls Island is actually Randalls and Ward's Islands. Thus, the bridge is called Ward's Island, because Randalls and Ward's used to be 2 separate islands, which was eventually filled in to become 1 island. As far as Manhattan the Island is concerned, the bridge count stops at 20. But if we're talking about Manhattan the Borough and not Manhattan the Island, then bridge number 20 would not be Ward's Island Bridge, but instead it would be Hellgate Bridge. This connects Randalls Island, which is part of the Manhattan Borough, with Queens. Manhattan the Borough has one more bridge, bringing its tally to 21. The Roosevelt Island Bridge that connects Roosevelt Island, which is part of the Manhattan Borough, with Queens. But if we go back to the Tri-Borough Bridge and count that as 3 separate bridges, then Manhattan the Borough would actually have 22 bridges in total. So that's your 20 or 21 or 22 bridges of Manhattan, however you want to look at it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, thanks so much for watching and happy New Yorking.